at their doorstep. Here's the MSNBC vid on the Polish MiGs. Okay, we'll take a look at this right now. Obviously, some of you won't be taking a look at this because you'll be taking a look at the top of the hour ad break, which comes at the top of every hour. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. You know, that's one way to avoid the ads. Or if you're lucky, you get gifted a sub. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. All right, let's watch.
To Ramstein Air Base is NBC News' Dan DeLuce in Washington. Excuse me. Dan, what can you tell us?
Well, this is very significant news. I think this is going to be very much welcome in Ukraine and by Kyiv. Poland has issued a statement saying they're ready to donate free of charge all of their Mig-29 fighter jets to Poland, and that they await replacement aircraft from the United States and NATO allies. And they said that the planes would be sent to Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany. Now, why they're doing that, it might be, we don't know yet. It may be they just simply...
What do you mean, why are they doing that? They're doing that so that America is the one who's handling the logistics, because America is the one who has to re-up the Polish Air Force. And not only that, but also, like, they don't want to be fucking held liable for giving fucking giving the like, they're going to the daddy. They're going to Big Daddy. Okay, they're going to Big Daddy America, who will allow Ukraine to have those fighter jets.
Simply don't want to have a potential target in Poland. But it is, this has been something that was under discussion. There have been a lot of conflicting reports. It came up more than a week ago. It seemed to go back and forth. It got confusing at times. But over the weekend, the White House and Secretary of...
Like, look at this. I want you to look at this picture, okay? Because this is the non-TOS version of what you can see, at the very least, okay? I want you to look at this picture. And I want you to understand, like, this is going to get so much fucking worse. Americans will very easily say, oh, look, I love Ukrainians fighting back. It's fucking sick. It's fucking sick. Keep fighting. We're with you. Like, it's great. Come on. We're with you. Like, let's go, Ukraine, you know? But, and then they will openly state that this is going to be fucking Afghanistan for Russia. But then they never think about what Afghanistan means for the, you know, Afghan citizens, or rather the Ukrainian citizens in this circumstance that are stuck.
Wow, a whole quarter of a century. Crazy.
Okay?
State Antony Blinken confirmed this was something they were discussing with Poland, that Ukraine has asked this, or made an urgent appeal. President Zelensky speaking to lawmakers on Saturday, and this was his top request. You know, Ukrainian pilots are trained to fly these kind of Soviet-era planes. They do already have these planes. They want more of them. And you saw this bipartisan endorsement, you know, writing letters to the White House saying, get these planes to Ukraine. And Poland's request was that they get a replacement for these MiGs that they're going to be giving to Ukraine, and they wanted U.S.-made F-16. So it looks like that must have been figured out now. So that's what we have.
Dan, let's bring in our colleague Courtney Kuby, our Pentagon correspondent. So, Courtney, what more can you tell us about what's going to happen now?
Okay, so I think we need to look at what this announcement is and what it is.
Don't you think it's a bit patronizing of you to assume that they don't want it and don't choose it over the looming occupation? Are you telling me that, like, it's better off? I don't care in this situation. I'm telling you, they're worse off overall. Like, I get why they want it. I get why they want to fucking fight back. It's totally understandable to want to fight back. But that's not what I'm talking about. Okay? What I'm talking about currently is what is happening and what will continue to happen. Okay? Yeah, moving the goalposts. You don't know what that word means, dude. You just don't. You're like, go write a fucking Reddit post. Just kidding. Don't get mad at me. Oh, Jesus Christ. Keep saying it over and over again. Stop. Why didn't the Afghans just leave, right? Dog, what the fuck do you mean? I'm not saying leave. If it wasn't for Ukraine, if it wasn't for United States involvement that predates Operation Cyclone, the Mujahideen would not have had the arms to be able to push back the USSR forces. And without United States involvement and the USSR forces consistently trying to fucking fight on two different fronts. One, the same fucking leadership that was purging communists while also simultaneously demanding help from the USSR. And two, trying to fight back against the Mujahideen forces. There could have been a way more amicable solution with a USSR puppet installed in Afghanistan at the time. Perhaps a much more favorable point. Afghanistan could look very different right now. It could look like the fucking 60s. The USSR did not like the Afghan government that was supposedly socialist. Okay? They were not a fan. They tried to assassinate him. But as Carter's own admission, or not his own admission, but what's his name? Brezhnevsky? I always fuck his last name up.
At Hasanabi,
at the admission of their hindsight 2020, it's not hindsight 2020 when I'm using it for foresight. Okay, no, Brzezinski, not Brezhnev. No, Brzezinski. Not, yeah, it's the former National Security Advisor of the United States. No, it's Brzezinski. Zbigniew Brzezinski.
20 months time flies hassle.
Okay, a Polish-American diplomat who openly fucking talked about how pumping guns into the Mujahideen and getting them to rile up against the USSR involvement in Afghanistan was an incredible way to turn Afghanistan into Russia's own Vietnam, USSR's own Vietnam. It was a grand policy proposal. It was an incredible chess move. Okay?
Lit.
That he openly fucking flexed on.
I'm a wiser person thanks to Hasan Brzezinski.
Yeah, and his daughter is on, Mika Brzezinski is now on Morning Joe, but, you know, we don't talk about it.
I've been in here 16 months and haven't been banned a single time.
I keep seeing people comparing Afghans and Ukrainians, saying that Afghans were cowards for not fighting the Taliban. Dude, that is so fucking disgusting, dude. That's what I mean. It's like, it's so disgusting. It's because these fucking people would lose their minds. They did. Those very same people who say Afghans were cowards for not fighting the Taliban are the same fat little fucking piglet pork-eating dickheads that live all around the stupid fucking country, okay? They're riddled with cancerous tumors all around their fucking bodies from eating microplastics on a daily fucking basis and having a steady diet of high fructose corn syrup. And they sit around, okay, with their diabetic asses, okay, running around and fucking talking about how devastating it is when they can't get $5 jalapeno poppers at Applebee's anymore. And now it's $6 jalapeno poppers at Applebee's. And then they turn around and talk about the fucking bravery of the Afghan people. I am disgusted with this kind of fucking attitude that Americans have. It is so nasty. They have never understood the sacrifice. They have never understood any kind of like, they've never understood what it's like to fucking live constantly with a threatening government over their head. They've never understood what it's like to have to forcibly choose when you're stuck between a rock and a fucking hard place.
2020 election.
Those disgusting piglet fucks cried about putting a fucking mask on for the duration of the COVID pandemic. They cried about getting vaccinated. You're really going to tell me that those motherfuckers know what sacrifice and bravery means? Sacrifice and bravery for them
months of molding
is just, saluting a fucking veteran when they see one, okay? And venerating veterans, but not giving a single fuck about them when it comes to their healthcare needs, okay? Americans have never had to understand what sacrifice and bravery is because we are removed from the consequences of the world events that we dictate. Okay? Fucking bullshit. Sacrifice, bravery. Miss me with that fucking bullshit, dude. Americans have never even seen like instability in fucking food pricing until like recently. Holy shit. I mean, they did back in the day. But contemporary American society post-World World War II, are you fucking kidding me?
Not. First off, this is Poland saying that they are ready to provide these Mig-29s to send them to...
U.S. hate rent-free in your head, lol. What? U.S. hate rent-free? Dude, look at this internet-brained, brain-broken idiot, dude. It's rent-free in your head, lol. Yeah, the United States is rent-free in my head. Yeah, I know. I live here. I don't know if you know that. You are such a brain-broken, petulant little fucking loser shit. I hope you understand that. Rent-free, lol. Yeah, it is. It is. It is rent-free. I'm an American.
Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany, as Dan was just saying, but they're also calling on the U.S. to provide them, to backfill them with appropriate aircraft, fighter jets that would have similar capabilities. Everyone's been talking about the F-16s. Just because Poland made this announcement does not mean that the U.S. has some number of F-16s sitting around that they can immediately provide to Poland. So that's the first hang-up to this. The second one Dan was just touching on, and that is, why would Poland fly these aircraft from Poland, right next door in Ukraine, all the way to Germany, to Ramstein, and turn them over to the United States for the U.S. then to provide Ukraine? Officials who I'm talking to don't know the answer to that.
What do you mean?
A defense official who I asked right after this announcement was made.
It's obvious. One, they get a fucking nice little re-up on their they get a nice little re-up on their fucking jets. And two, because they have to, they're not going to give them to Ukraine and then not get new jets. And two, they can't directly deliver it to Ukraine because Big Daddy America has to do that because there are significant repercussions that they would suffer from if they were to give it directly to Ukraine. It would involve Poland in the war, and that's terrifying for the Polish people who understand that, like, they don't want to fucking go to war with Russia.
I said, what's going on here? Has this been made? And all they're saying so far here at the Pentagon is, we don't have anything. We're looking into this announcement. We don't have anything more.
My argument, when Russia takes over Ukraine with the least number of casualties, called an invasion. But when U.S. does it with Yemen, Syria, and many more with thousands of innocent civilian casualties, it's called liberation democracy. I know I'm pretty late to the party. Please don't ban me. No, both of those are fucking morally abhorrent, horrifying, violent, bloody battles, and they're completely unacceptable. And I yell about America when they fucking claim that they are doing liberation and democracy. It's a laughable fucking notion. I'm not going to ban that person, but, it's the same with fucking Russia right now.
For you on it, but I should say...
It's not a hot take, it's a cold take. The fucking hilarious part about this, though, is that, like, liberals literally think the blood of Ukrainians in Russian hands is a good opportunity for them to fucking wash their own blood and wash their own fucking prior war crime admissions and advocacy. And it's psychotic to me. It's like, oh, dude, well, fucking Russia is doing a bad thing here. We're not doing it directly. Like, fuck it, dude. Whatever, dude.
Let's go.
Yeah, totally, bro. We are so good now. It's crazy.
As of yesterday, when we were asking the question about the possibility of the U.S. providing aircraft to Poland, we were told repeatedly, our colleagues Carol Lee and Peter Alexander and I were told repeatedly from a number of different officials in the Biden administration that it was a long shot that the U.S. would actually go forward with this. So again, as of now, This is Poland saying they are ready to send these jets, but there is no sense yet that the U.S. has the ability to backfill. As far as the logistics of this, though, Katie, yes, the MiGs, they could go. The U.S. doesn't have any MiGs, but theoretically, the U.S. could maintain them and could help them at Ramstein. But I mean, that's the only, that's the only thing we really know at this point.
It is really odd, as you point out, to send them to Germany to go back to Ukraine when Poland is right next to Ukraine, and there are shipments going back and forth between the.
Dude, are these people crazy? Are they crazy? Dude, it's obvious why they're doing that. I don't understand why they're. What do you mean? They don't want to fucking involve themselves directly in war, dude. What the fuck? They don't want to literally fucking. You're acting like Putin won't find out? Dude, it's just an additional barrier of safety that they want to fucking add on. Okay?
Every month the world gets
it's an
worse
additional layer of safety and security to say, hey, look, we're giving them to NATO. We're giving them to the United States. They can do whatever they want. That's it. Now, yeah, they have to feign ignorance of the plausible deniability. Like, they were going to do it. The Watcher of Azan, but didn't the U.S. funding the Mujahideen turn out all right? I mean, it crippled and led to the dissolution of the biggest enemy, and the blowback was less than 10K dead Americans. This is not a message of support. Dude, did you just say America's war on terror plus 9/11 as blowback was just, worth it to fucking take down the USSR? Are you serious? As bait, right? You have to. That's not a fucking good gamble unless you literally think that that is like a good, I don't know. Like, you think 9/11 was acceptable? Like, what the fuck? I know my take is like, I know that's my take, or that's what people think my take is about 9/11, but like, what's up? You're like straight up saying it. Like, oh, no, it's cool. 9/11 is fine because, the USSR went down. The Watcher of Azan, dude. I don't think it's a good gamble.
Those two countries of other arms. Tell me right now where Ukraine stands on its air fight against Russia. Russia has not yet dominated the skies over Ukraine. So what would it mean for Ukraine to get these jets?
So
wasn't 9/11 faked? No, dude. What the fuck? What the fuck? Yo. Yeah, dude, those people didn't die, actually. They're not real.
It's still a very contested airspace, but the reality is much of the air, Russia has more, it's tipped more in Russia's favor than in Ukraine. That being said, the Ukrainian Air Force still has the ability to fly. They still do not have, Russia is not dominating them. But both sides, the Russian Air Force and the Ukrainian Air Force, frankly, aren't flying a whole lot of their manned aircraft right now. The majority of the stuff that's in the sky.
Boys, the only reason why I know 9/11 was real because I was in the rooftop in New Jersey. You know what I'm saying?
Right now, it's missiles, it's artillery. There isn't a whole lot of manned aircraft flying, and that's because it is such a contested airspace. So that begs the question.
Listen, I'm Muslim. I can make that joke, okay? Shut the fuck up. That's more so, shitting on people that fucking racistly claim that, like, Muslims were on the rooftops celebrating.
Does Ukraine really need these additional fighter jets? President Zelensky has said that he does. I think that because of that, there has been a very real faith effort here on the part of the U.S. and Poland and other allies to figure out if they can provide them with things. But it still doesn't answer the question, do they actually need them?
No, she's not dead. She's not dead. She is fine.
NATO
they take her
allies,
out.
A number of nations have come forward and provided Ukraine with a lot of other things that they really do need. Stinger missiles, we were reporting on that last week. They have gotten hundreds of these Stinger missiles, which provide the Ukrainians with the ability to shoot down Russian aircraft that are flying overhead. But even with that, Russia has S-400s up in southern Belarus that provide them with these very advanced radars. They control large parts of the Ukrainian airspace because
This one is so whack. Like they put like USSR era books or like old Russian literature in there, like to burn those tires when Russia comes. It's like, oh, sick, dude.
of that.
You got it.
And Russia still has a very advanced and strong, robust ability with surface-to-air missiles to shoot down manned Ukrainian military aircraft. So it's a confusing, it's a dynamic situation over the air right now. I mean, candidly, Katie, I don't really know why the Ukrainians would need more manned aircraft right now. It seems that of all the asks that they would have out there, that this is sort of a strange one to me, just looking at the operational picture right now. But I want to, I want to make sure that our viewers are very aware of the fact here that, yes, Poland is offering, they are saying they can send these MiGs, but that doesn't mean that the U.S. at this point has dedicated or has the ability to backfill them to actually get this process underway.